I need a new stream intro because that's my old pictures, and I totally forgot. That's the problem when you're trying to be as professional as I try to be. I have an intro for
Yeah.
everything, and I have to update everything. Like you have no idea how long it is to update my interview and my voice actor intro each time I have a different actor. Welcome everyone to Raziel Kane Reviews. I'm Raziel Kane, and this is just water. How's everybody?
As opposed to what? Whiskey? I mean, come on. Whiskey would have been fine too.
I love Jack Daniels. I
Yuck.
mean, I really do.
Drink some, find some good scotch, my brother. Find some good scotch and stick with it. Good scotch, not cheap scotch. I'm talking like Glenlivet, Glenfiddich, good stuff. Anyway, I am doing swell. How about you, TFA and Optination?
Well, TFA's muted, so I think
I'm
he
doing
might.
pretty good. Hopefully TFA.
Yeah, I think he's having a technical difficulty, so I'm just gonna leave him there. And actually, I'm gonna go on Instagram just to make sure he didn't send me a last minute message. Nope. Oh, yep. Hold on.
There he says in the private chat, I can't hear anyone. Something's up with my audio output. So that's why. In the private chat,
Oh yeah. Okay. There it is.
Yep. So,
Optination had the same problem.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you guys are using, but on my laptop I had to restart it and it fixed it. So
who knows?
So if TFA is still in this stream, if you can hear me, restart your laptop. Oh, he said he couldn't hear anyone.
I'm just gonna send him a message on like resetting your sound settings.
So while they're doing that, I did. Is my camera working? I don't know if my camera is even working. I hate it when I don't pay attention.
I don't pay attention. Oh, the comments. Oh, we have people.
Yeah, there we go. So
yeah, we got people.
I got a few new things. Well, new for me, old toys, but new for me. Well, kind of new. This is the Battle Charger.
Hold on, man. Hold on. You have to, before we do stuff, we have to do this.
Show you with the box. What was in the box? What's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's in the fucking box?
Okay, now you can do stuff.
My bad. My bad. So I got a Battle Charger Optimus. Hey, look, in my area, any TF toys is new. Frankly speaking, now I'm going to be moving soon, so hopefully the area I move to has a better selection of toys and stores along with those to have those toys in. Who knows? I don't know, because where I live, it's a 40-minute drive to 55-minute drive to any other Walmart except for the small town one near me. And again, this is about as good as it gets. But so I got a Battle Charger Optimus. So you know what? This is very well painted. Hasbro, why do you paint these tiny little figures with a lot of freaking detail and paint, but you couldn't be bothered to paint a deluxe figure even halfway? I don't get it, you Hasbro. Because this thing has a ton of paint. All this is paint. All this blue is paint.
Well,
paint up here.
Let's theorize. I think that they sell probably more of these kids' toys than they do the main line, the main generation line.
No, I know where all the money, the budget for the Transformer paint job was going. It's going into those crossover Jurassic Park figures. I mean, come on. I mean, you've seen them, right? Ton of paint on. Anyway, so this is a Battle Charger Optimus. It's not a lot better. Not a bad little figure, and his review's coming up. I also got a Swindle. So that's it's just one of these Earthrise Swindle things. He's not these kids stuff. For the younger scene, I also picked I picked up the MS06S. Boom! Look at him.
Nice.
Look at him. Sharzaku.
That's cool.
It's awesome. Heck
I
yeah.
don't have any Transformers, but I have a couple things to. I just want to say hi. Sorry, I'm missing it. It's kind of a hectic beginning. Soundwave and Ionicus. I usually spell say that name no problem. Zeta Prime, thanks for showing up. And then TFA still having issues, man. We can't. Even if I keep talking about him or to him.
I picked up
Oh, we
this
have
guy.
JJ.
Hey, so I didn't think I was
Hey,
gonna look.
JJ.
I was gonna straight pass this guy up, okay? But then I finally saw one, and I said, okay, I'll pick him up. That said, though, is it better than the original toy? This is the original. Is this? Well, I'm gonna review it, so you'll find out. But I gotta tell you, the older toy is more screen accurate than the new one. A lot of people say, well, the new one is more screen accurate. No, no. I don't know what the hell you've been watching, folks, who's saying that, but it sure wasn't the Armada cartoon. This, the old toy, is actually more screen accurate. But with a few exceptions. Neither one of them is 100%, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it's an update for those who never got a hold of the original toy. You know, it's it's worth picking up. It doesn't come with Swindle though. It doesn't come with Swindle, which is a shame. And there is no way to attach Swindle to the new.
No, but I don't think their plan was to bring back the minicons. I don't think so.
Yeah. So you know, that's a shame that you can't put Swindle. Unlike Hot Shot, at least with Hot Shot, you could attach his minicon, somewhere.
Yeah.
In
Can you
this
do it
case,
with the Armada Megatron, the new one?
I don't know. I haven't picked that one up. I gotta. Has Optimus Wilbur done his review yet? I'll have to go look. I don't think he has yet. But
hey, MCDJ.
But I got that. I just did my Rise of the Beast Deluxe Optimus review. I've got that up right now. That's not a bad toy. Which will, good lead into what we're talking about tonight. So with that, I think I've got everything I've got currently up to date. How about you, Optination?
Did you pick up anything this
Well,
week? This month?
Yeah, this month, when I went and saw the movie for like the fourth time. Not even joking.
I believe you.
Did I say Earthrise?
That's what I
Yeah,
forgot to
Earth
bring
Park.
down.
Yeah. See, now my movie theater didn't offer that.
Did it offer the Optimus Prime bucket or no?
Nope, none of that.
What?
You'll see in a second.
Again, when you live in a town of 500 people, your theater isn't that big, okay?
I'm sorry, man.
So they didn't offer.
But that's a night. Apparently though the trailer is really cheap.
Yeah, you can put your popcorn in there and
soft drink in the cab.
Yep, and I have the straw in there, which looks like a smokestack. I wish it would have came with two. That would have been awesome, but it only came with one.
Go on Amazon and order. They have short metal straws, and they look pretty good on that.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so I went to the theater as well, and in Canada we don't have the bucket head option. We don't have the Optimus Prime option. What we have is a shit tin.
Nice.
Like it's just a very cheap piece of aluminum. So if I squeeze too hard, it breaks. But the design on it is pretty nice.
Nice.
And then you have this thing here.
That's kind of cool.
Well, I would have preferred the head, honestly. So this is on top of my shelf and just for display for the rest of it.
Yeah, they didn't offer anything like that in my movies.
And then you have this drink, all right, which is whatever symbol.
See, that's
and then
cool too.
On top, you have the option of either RC.
Man, that's jank. We didn't get that at all.
And then you have Optimus, you have Bumblebee, but they ran out of Optimus, and she wanted. I actually felt like a complaining kid, and she gave me Bumblebee. I'm like, you have someone else, and then she gave me RC. So, but it's a cheap plastic glass, and there's a hole to put the straw, and I don't think you can remove RC and put another one, but I don't think they sold it, separately. So that's what I got from the movies.
Oh, see,
And
that's
but
Jack.
this
They didn't
week,
offer me
actually,
anything but the ticket I bought.
last week I picked up cable, or maybe 2 weeks ago. And then for Father's Day, it's a little early, but my son got me Spiral. And she looks freaking amazing.
Hey,
Six,
Princeton, welcome. And JJ
hey,
and
Princeton,
MCDCAG, the
6 arms, six
ACDC biologist.
weapons. So, but then I just got
Somewhat
an
of
email
8084.
saying that my Dirge, Legacy Dirge, Beachcomber, and DEFCON are ready for pickup, which I will
Nice.
do on Monday. So,
Nice. Oh, I did get another one. I keep forgetting I got this guy because I've literally passed him up at every opportunity I had, but my brother picked it up for me. So, hey, I'm happy my brother got it for me. I just don't
did you
care.
just have a stroke?
I got Wheelie, and I just don't. I don't care about Wheelie.
Which one is that?
It's
That's
the
the
core class
86?
one.
Yeah, I have it too.
That's what I feel about it. Did you see it go flying? That's what I think about Wheelie. I
Yeah,
just don't
Princeton.
care about.
She's
I
an
feel the same
amazing
way
pick.
about Wheelie as I do the Insecticons, the
Okay, new
Seekers. I just
name. I
not
don't
my
know if
thing.
I've seen Aiden Andrews before. Thanks for stopping by. I might try to see that film at some point whenever it comes out in theaters. I might like it or something. By the way, last Thursday I got my wisdom removed. I didn't feel a thing at all. Awesome news. But
Oh,
I don't know if you want to stay, Aiden, that I don't want you here, but we're gonna probably spoil a lot of the movie. So just be careful.
Yep.
Not that I
And
want to spoil the movie, but the goal here is to figure out if I actually enjoyed the movie. Oh, Brian sent me a message. Oh, Brian is coming over. That's cool.
Spiral is from what?
and I also sent you a private message on the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
See, I don't know. Spiral is a Marvel comic character, correct? From the '80s, I believe she was with Mojo. I think was the character's name.
I believe so.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm not all up on. I mean, I don't know. I'm not all up on the comics as I used to be. Unless it's Transformer comics.
All right, so let's discuss. Well, Brian's going to be here in a bit, so I'm going to wait because I know he probably saw the movie. He's a big movieverse fan, so yeah, 6 out of 5. And that's 6.5 out of 10. That's
yeah, that sounds about right. Yep,
exactly. Like,
right.
I mean, the critics are terrible for it, but the people pulse for the movie is actually pretty good. It's number one. It's making a lot of, it's making money. I'm guessing.
It's not even into the second weekend. Well, it's about to be, and it already has almost 200 million. It has 198 million right now.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
they're making the money back on it then, and then some.
And it had a production budget of 200 million. So as soon as it crosses the 200 million threshold, they've made their money back.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's right.
Connected to X-Men and a long shot. Oh, okay.
Ionicus. Sorry, man. I keep trying to pronounce your name right. Spiral worked for Mojo and was connected to the X-Men. She was actually one of my favorite villains in the show.
Long shot. Was he a blonde with like some sort of star pattern on his face?
What? No.
I'm trying to remember.
Long shot. Yes, blonde guy, like very 80s mullet.
Oh, yeah.
And but she
90s mullet too.
She's able to open portals between dimensions, and she has 6 arms and plenty of weapon. That's just so cool. So I love that.
I think I have one. I have a bunch of Marvel figures I'm gonna be selling off from Toy Biz era Marvel figures, and yeah, they've been in storage for 20 years.
That's the thing for me. If I put it in, I'll never put something in storage. If I'm thinking of storage, I'm selling it. I don't need it. If I'm not gonna enjoy looking at it. Oh, there you go. Honey, did you get back home already? I didn't hear you come in. She's a ghost, but that's my wife.
She's being
Hello.
she's a shinobi, or in this case, it'd be Konoichi.
She was out with a friend, so I don't. Maybe she just picked up some Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So
All right.
yeah, you need to pick up more Gundam figures. You need to watch more Gundam. That's what I gotta say, Raz.
No,
Go watch
exactly. I
go watch
on the
them all.
cuss. I usually pronounce your name right. All right. Sorry. What were you saying about Ninja Bill?
I said you need to go watch more Gundam. Watch them all. No, skip Seed. Go ahead and skip Seed. Go ahead, then watch them all. Just
No,
watch them
because
all.
then after that I'll have to buy Gundams.
Okay, I don't see the problem here. What's the
Yeah, okay.
downside?
Actually, you know what? If I'll
got-
watch Gundam, but then you go find an English version of Goldarak. You go watch Grandizer.
I know Grandizer.
You know Grandizer, but did you watch all of Grandizer?
No, not all of it. I've got this kit to build yet. Finished building, I should say. And I've got this HG kit yet to build too. So,
And there you go.
yep, Gundam Helios. It's in
All
high
right,
grade.
let's talk movie. Brian will be here, so we can jump in
Need to
anytime.
watch. Everybody needs more Gundam in their life. Everybody. Okay. From 6 to 600. Everyone go do Gundam now. Do some Gunpla. Enjoy the world around you while you enjoy your Gunpla.
I'm good, thanks. I'll enjoy Transformers. All right, so the movie, I went to see it, and that's something. So my wife and my 5-year-old wanted to see it as well. So they went to see it in French, and then at the same time, I went in another theater and I saw it like in another room, and I saw it in English. And my wife was like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because it's Peter Cullen. I'm gonna listen to Peter Cullen."
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched it and I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it, but it kind of fell flat for me. So it's just an excuse to talk about the movie, but I don't want to bash it. You know, like it's so okay. My first thing is the music. Unmemorable soundtrack for a movie. Hey, Mercenary Terror. There you go.
I think 6 out of 10 is a good score for it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of scores, that's it was lackluster.
Yeah,
I don't know about you guys, but the score itself was lackluster.
there's no music that I recall. There's no music that I associate to a scene.
The score was mediocre at best. Now they had music in it, but the score itself was just mediocre. I'm sorry,
Attribution obviously has a different opinion.
I thought the movie was a 9.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. That is absolutely okay. If you enjoy
all right,
it,
so Optination had to go. I'm just kidding. I'm Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Ionicus, you liked Gundam Seed? How dare you, sir? How dare you tear up your fan?
We're talking about Rise of the Beast, Ninja Bill. Rise of the Beast.
Okay. I kid, Ionicus. I kid. If you enjoy it, then you enjoy it, man. It had great mecha. Anyway, back to Rise of the Beast. What did you think of how the movie started? Because let's talk about the very beginning, because it is almost 86.
I have points here that I want to discuss.
Oh wow, he's got a whole paper now.
Great.
Oh,
the
okay.
movie
Well,
started great because there was no humans, right? And then they have a new. I think I've heard the name Ape-Link before. In other continuity, so he was the big monkey, and he fought Unicron or actually Scourge, and so I want to keep voice acting at the end. Okay,
it sucks that Gary Chalk wasn't asked to reprise his role. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly, but I mean, this didn't feel like a Gary Chalk Optimus Primal either.
No, but still.
He's not
But
a
you're right. You're absolutely right. You're
he's not a
absolutely
father
right.
figure. That's what Primal was. That's what Gary wanted to make the character. He had a different relationship with each of the character. You know, a very nurturing father to Cheetor, a colleague to Rhinox, a reprimanding, dad to Rat Trap, because that's what these people needed. So he became what they needed. This one was just the bigger of the Maximals, and he was the new leader because Apeling sacrificed himself, and he did a good job, kind of. But I mean, I don't think that they really focused on visuals and the overall story, but we didn't see much individual Transformer character growth.
Yeah.
Except Prime. Prime went from being screw the humans to okay, these people are needing our help, but it's still, I don't know.
Yeah, Prime felt Prime.
Okay.
He felt out. He felt out of place because of what happened. They've arrived on Earth. It's completely to to use the term alien to him and the Cybertronian culture. It's so foreign to him, and he doesn't. He's kind of lost himself in what the Autobots and Cybertron has lost. And he sort of lost himself in the remorse and the guilt.
Yeah.
And so this is a very different Optimus Prime than what we've seen previously in cartoons or films.
Which is fine.
Which
Honestly,
is fine. I'm
it's
not saying
fine
it's bad.
because it's a different Prime, and I've become over time less critical of they didn't do G1. Like that's never been a big point for me. I mean, I don't mind a different Optimus. I just want respect for the source. I don't. I think this one they tried to respect a little more of the source, but it. I didn't feel a lot of attachment to the other characters.
Yes, yes. The Maximals for me were sort of they didn't have the presence that they could or should have had, in my opinion. Now, by presence, yes, they had screen time, but like Cheetor and Rhinox barely had any lines. There's almost no dialogue between them or any other existing character on film.
Well, Rhinox didn't say one line, and at the end,
I was gonna say I don't think Rhinox even said anything. Sorry,
he
I
didn't
didn't mean
say
to interrupt
anything.
you.
And at the end, in the credit, because I was hoping there was an end credit scene, and so when they got to the voice acting part, Rhinox wasn't listed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it was lackluster in that I would have expected more. Oh, that's the problem right there. Okay, it's a biased opinion because I went in with the word expectation or expecting or expected. Okay, that's a bias right there, and I fully admit that. But I did go in expecting maybe some dialogue between the two, between the Autobots and the Maximals, because they have a lot to offer each other, and they could have played with each other and that off of each other in a certain way, but that just it wasn't written that way, and it felt missing. It really, really did. One of the reasons why I agree with the 6 out of 10 is the fact that the dialogue between the Cybertronians just did. I should say with the Autobots and the Maximals did not happen. You have Primal talking to Prime, reminding Prime of who he is. Okay, which was I enjoyed that moment when that dialogue between those two, and I was hoping more dialogue would happen. Sure, we had Air Razor and I forget the girl's name already, but and Air Razor's all of Air Razor's dialogues. Michelle Yeoh did a good job as Air Razor, folks.
Elena,
things she did a good. I'm not saying she did a great job. She did a good job. So I give her credit for that because even though you couldn't see it, you felt the emoting that was going on there. You did feel it. Uh, um,
She probably did. So, Optination, what's your synopsis? Like your overall feeling?
So my overall feeling of the movie, it's just weird because my overall feeling of the movie is a lot different from your guys's. So it's just kind of weird to me, but I'll go anyway. Um, when they killed off, with big quotes, killed off Bumblebee, even though he came back at the end. I'm not sure if you guys know, but I'm a huge Bumblebee fan. That hurt me a lot.
Well, okay. I thought it was well done. Like if the trailer hadn't shown him jumping off of an airplane, so they showed us a scene in the trailer that we had not yet seen in the movie. So I'm like, oh, he's coming back.
Mhm.
So I wasn't too, and the fact that they carried his body around, I'm like, all right, he's gonna come back. So that kind of killed it for me, but no pun intended.
Yeah.
But I think it was well done overall. How
Yeah.
he got killed by
Scourge.
Scourge, yeah.
I
And
think Scourge was overrated.
Yeah.
well, I think Scourge was well designed.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I'm not saying that.
He was
I think he was
menacing.
over. I think his characterization was a bit overdone.
Well, the fact that we don't know where he's from,
That's true.
and it's like, okay, let's compare him to Darth Vader.
He's a
right?
Terracon. Great. Well, what happened before that?
Yeah, what's
Right.
a Terracon? Like it's cool that they're reusing the name, kind of like when Beast Wars used Predacons again after
Yeah.
the G1 show. Now this movie is using Terracons. So that's cool. But I mean, there's three guys, and then there's two troops. There's freezers and no, there's three troops. There's the Scorponok, the freezers, and the other guys.
Exactly, the other guys.
And so it kind of got repetitive in that sense. But the fight scenes were like, I mean, the visuals were good at, let's say, 8 out of 10. Because there is some scenes where the CGI could have been way better. For instance, when he wears the armor at the end.
I was about to say that armor.
When he becomes Kicker, basically, that's the Kicker suit from Transformers Cybertron.
I was going to say Kamen Rider. I was going to go with a Kamen Rider Centurion.
You can see that the face was painted there. Like it's not like they should have actually made a suit for him to wear, like they did, the Marvel movies. Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. wears a suit, but the moment the mask comes down, then it's CGI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sometimes, not all the scenes, but most of the action scenes, he's just wearing dots and stuff like that. But when you have a close up on his face, you see that he's wearing an actual helmet. And then when it closed, then he's off the set. So I wish they would have done something like that, where when they did show him in non-action scenes, it should have been an actual suit where it could feel, but it really just, it was like a camera, like I'm a robot and I'm displaying my face.
Yep.
So it felt like that. So I didn't like the effect. The concept of a battle armor, that was okay. Like it was.
Yeah, well, that goes back to TF lore as well. With the whole.
Yeah, with Daniel and Spike having exosuits and.
Yep.
So.
And the whole Pretenders thing, they were sort of like suits, armored flesh suits for Transformers. It's weird how that worked out. I mean, think about it. Pretenders wore human skins, which wore armor on top of that, and then split apart to let the robot out. It's weird. Anyway.
So it's but the action scenes were good. I just didn't feel I didn't feel like there was any moment where they could really lose. Because
Yeah.
I guess that's just me being older and watching a movie and going, all right, the good guys are going to win.
Yeah,
And
suspense was
I
forced.
I actually
go ahead,
I
Alfie.
actually thought of that when I was watching the movie for the fourth time. I'm like, I realized that the good guys always win, but is there ever going to be a movie, not just Transformers, but um, like the old Jackie Chan Rush Hour movies? Is there ever going to be a movie where the villains actually win?
Yes, and that's one of my favorite. There's one movie that did that, and everybody freaking
Really?
complained. Was Terminator, the third one?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, is that because the world got nuked
because
and stuff?
actually, at the end, they don't prevent the apocalypse. The world is just covered in nukes.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, that's cool. Everybody hated it. I'm like, guys, it had to happen.
Yeah.
We knew that. So what were they going to do? Postpone it another 15 years? No. So
So let's talk about Mirage. I loved it. I did
Yep.
like Mirage.
you mean
I
Hot
did.
Rod?
I did like Mirage.
Mirage.
He was probably
No,
the
no,
most
it's Hot Rod.
relatable.
They got the name wrong. It's Hot Rod, and then they got the color wrong. I thought at the beginning, I was like, he feels more like jazz. Like looking at it, he felt
Mhm.
more like jazz. But the
Hey,
more
David.
he talked, the more I'm like, yeah, that should have been Hot Rod. And they could have keep the Porsche out mode, but just same robot, but just paint him a little differently. And
Yeah.
it's really the Hot Rod attitude.
Well, no, yeah.
Hey,
I can
David.
I can see that. I can see that. But he was the most
Hey, David.
relatable person, quote unquote, person in the entire film. He really was.
Oh, he was a good character.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm impressed with Pete Davidson's performance for voice acting.
hmm
He did good.
I mean, he was the most relatable and likable character in the entire film, and it had to have been Mirage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hands down, or robo
And it
arms or whatever
should
you're
be
wearing.
like that, right? I mean, it should be a Transformers that's the best.
That's their brand on the
character.
film name. So
At the end when they started rolling the credits, first thing, they show starring, and then it's all the human characters. I'm like, no, you got it wrong. Starring Peter Cullen, Pete Davidson, Peter Dinklage. That's what it should have said. No, it's all about the humans.
well, it's the faces, all right, because that's what they're selling is the actresses are selling themselves, so they get the top
Yeah, but
billing. That's just the way it's going to work. I mean,
But if you look at it's really they're selling toys, and there's no toys of the human characters.
we hope.
That's true.
Well, you never know. We might get that armored suit thing. I mean,
Dude, if we get a toy of those people before I get a full cast of G1 humans, I'm pissed. I'm just saying.
I don't know why everyone hates Pete Davidson. I don't know either. So I think he's okay. So I don't know why people hate him. I don't know why either. You got a good point, Ionicus. You really do. I don't get it. So, but I think he was the most relatable. I like the end credits. We're in the garage, and the guy's like, "No, man, I didn't blow on you, man. I was just looking out for you. Really, he's trying to explain his way.
I mean,
was this thing even going to start?
But I mean, which I thought that the dialogue, like when he meets Optimus in the warehouse, and he's like, "You brought a human here, and why didn't he just say, yeah, he tried to rob me?" That would have saved all the dialogue of like, "Oh, I'm not here. No, why did you bring just? Oh, he was robbing me."
Yeah.
So,
and I think and as far as the human character goes, I think they threw him in being a veteran just as a I don't know why it was unnecessary to the entire.
I'm from Canada, and I don't have a huge military background. Like, how quickly can somebody enroll and become a veteran?
And it wasn't that for me. It just felt like it was just thrown in through as a backstory element, and the element didn't really work for the entire film. It just didn't.
He felt
It
way
felt
too
forced.
young to be somebody with a lot of
Oh,
combat
man,
experience.
I know. I've known veterans who were 18, 19, 20 years old because of the
Wow, that's young to see a lot
well,
of combat.
Yeah.
it's happened. Look,
But I mean,
I've been in a wartime situation, in a wartime environment. When I was in service in Iraq. So, when something terrible and horrible happens to your fellow brother and sister in arms, they are a combat veteran. So I can see. I could see it, but I just didn't understand the necessity to mention that because it really didn't play out. I take that back. Everything I just said, I take it back because of the end credits. What happened to him
exactly.
at the end of the film?
The big reveal of the GI
GI
Joes.
Joe.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just
Then I can see where
Yeah.
his
well, yeah.
previous.
That's why they want him. But so anyway, so that was a weird thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just okay. So okay, character wise, the humans didn't. I didn't care any of the humans. Nobody really gave me a feeling. Like I really preferred Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. Like
I
they,
think she did. I
Oh
think she
wow.
did a good job. I think she did a good job. In the beginning, where she was just absolutely at her wits' end with what's happening all around her, and the fact that she's freaking out, and that's just what anybody would do. She felt relatable in those few moments. She felt relatable to her. Somebody
Yeah.
watches it, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'd be trying to hide in the sewer myself." I mean, come on.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like, but I didn't feel like the little brother. I knew he wasn't gonna die.
Yeah.
So I didn't like. It's they tried to make it compelling, and it kind of fell flat on me. And all right,
Exactly. Soundwave 884 nailed it there. Yeah, yeah,
I agree though that yeah, they weren't as out there, but I
yeah.
could have done just without them completely, and it would still have been
And,
it could
and,
have
that-
been like why not have a scout find like a scout Autobot, like one of the cassettes from Blaster find the statue. That could
mhm.
have been simple as that, like they do
Yep.
their own work, and not everything happens by happenstance. And
I think one of the most powerful elements of the film is when they have the other half of the key and he drops it on the ground and Prime comes to talk to him. And I think that was probably one of the more defining moments of the film,
Yeah.
honestly, is that moment where when Prime, you know, realizes just what is, you know,
what's the stake?
he relates to humans. Suddenly he says, I understand you want to protect your home. I understand.
Yeah.
That was probably for me one of the most powerful elements or moments I should say of the film right there. That scene, where he finally just puts himself out there. You were trying to protect yourselves, protect your world, and I just want to protect mine. I want to go back to mine to save mine.
Yeah.
you know so that for me was probably the best moment in the film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody else's might be
Okay.
different. It's fine.
Okay. I have a second best, most defining moment then.
Go ahead.
When I believe a little bit before that, I'm trying to remember when this happened in the movie. But anyway, when Elena is talking to Noah, and they're like at nighttime, and Elena was like, you're just like Optimus Prime. You're just out trying to protect your family, blah blah. blah.
It was right before
That,
that. Mhm.
yeah, that to me was also one of the most defining moments. I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Sounds good.
Yep, sounds
See,
sounds awesome, Brian.
yeah, I didn't feel any type of defining moment. Like, okay, the character deaths, like Apeling died. You felt like, all right, he's doing it to save his race, basically the last And we don't know how many how many people were in that shuttle that left, right? All we know is that who's left is Rhinox, Cheetor, and Air Razor, and Primal.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see more characters, with the gang when Scourge was approaching, so that we could have seen, like who died. Did Rat Trap die? Where's Dinobot? Was there Beast War Megatron?
Mhm.
So, and then,
What
but
other Maximals and Predacon or Predacon?
well,
You
that's
know,
the
if there were
thing. We don't
Maximals,
know,
where's the
and
Predacon?
they did not even bring up the origin of the Maximal. All we say is that Primal says that he was named after the great Optimus Prime,
Yep.
and he said, "We are your future." But in what sense? Like, was there time travel involved? Did they
Well,
use
yes,
the key?
yes, they did clear because the
I missed it.
yeah the keys when assembled made that space the
The
trans
space
warp
brute.
the,
Yeah.
tra- the, trans,
It's the
transwarp
transwarp conduit. Yeah,
the
okay.
transwarp conduit, right? It enabled them to travel, through time and space. They mentioned that in the film.
Yeah, but they
So,
don't tell. They never say that we've come to this time or we've come from.
well, they do. They do. When they traveled, they said, then we came here, right?
Well, yeah, but
And
here could be just here on this rock.
yeah, and one moment that linked back to the original Beast Wars show was when they talk about Energon, and Prime says, "There's Energon here," and they said, "Oh yeah, it was all over the place. It's all over the place, you know." And then we see that later, right before Bumblebee gets resurrected, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that harkens back, you know, how Optimus Primal said, "We are your future." Well, they literally, are, because they traveled backwards
Yeah.
to the planet Earth that we're on
Yeah,
now.
see, I didn't get like Optination. Did you get the same thing out of this?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I missed it because I really just felt like they were from another part of the, because basically, Unicron was trapped in another galaxy or this galaxy somewhere. He couldn't keep traveling the universe. So that
Well,
was,
travel. Yeah.
but they
See,
didn't mention like the fact that he's able to travel to different universe and stuff like that. So, and
well,
that's one thing.
at one point in time, uh, 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 um, Unicron was in every reality. At one time, Hasbro gave us the idea that Unicron existed across all realities, all times, all spaces, where whatever he appeared in. Right, that was Unicron. Slightly different, but still the same Unicron. No matter which Unicron you saw, whether it was in the Armada cartoon, whether it was in the Cybertron cartoon, or whether it was in a comic book, it was all
Transformers Prime. Yeah.
Yeah,
86
it's all the
Transformers. It was
same
all the
Unicron,
same Unicron.
but
Well,
he's
they
not
did away
present
with
at the same time.
yeah.
He's Primus is present at the same time in every universe. Unicron is able to cross every universe. That was the distinction between the two.
Yeah.
So,
So, but I loved when the first 5 minutes of that film I was like, this is like watching a live action '86 film, because sure, you don't have Arbla saying, "Look, it's Unicron," and
man, I would have loved to have
Oh,
seen
man,
an Argos and a
would've-
Kranix.
I think the whole theater would have just jumped up and down like crazy people, waving their arms and screaming. That would have happened. That's all I'm saying. I would have been one of them. I
Oh
would have
yeah,
been
I
one
would
of
have
them.
like, and I still want a new toy. Like I really want a Kranix toy and an Arbalest toy.
Oh yeah,
That would have been, even if it's the RED line, I would pick that up. But anyway, the thing is that this Unicron didn't scare me.
yeah. He was. He well, that's because you know who Unicron is and what he does and what he's about.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But for the general audience, I mean, come on, that's intimidating when you got something the size of a planet, munching down another planet, That's pretty darn intimidating, you know.
Yeah, it isn't intimidating,
Yeah.
but it's just I don't know. Maybe I'm getting just too old for movies, but it just didn't feel that menacing. Like Scourge was, I think he was good. Nightbird was, she looked okay, and she spoke a little bit, and she was deadly, but again, not no, I wasn't afraid of her. Like, and if she popped up, I like a villain where when it pops out, you're like, oh shit, people are gonna die, and this is bad. I didn't feel that.
Yeah,
I think
I didn't feel that
Battletrap
way.
was probably the better design out of all three. He
I agree.
was
I agree.
original. He was.
He looked great, but
Hey, I have a star. He's gonna do it again. Okay, so for the people who don't know, Brian's gonna stare at the camera for 10 minutes, not say a word, and then he's gonna start talking.
oh, he
Hi,
might surprise
Brian.
you.
So that's Brian.
What up, Brian? Well, he's got to
Sometimes he's
acclimate.
close to the camera.
See,
Sometimes
Raz,
he's far from the camera.
he's
So
acclimating himself to the new environment. So
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's just exactly. But I think it's just his camera buffering all the way from BC. So like the signal has. Oh, he blinked. There you go. He's alive.
see, he's acclimating himself. It's a new environment. You got to
Oh,
acclimate yourself.
oh.
It's like going from
Is it working?
Oh, hey!
Oh wait, he muted himself.
TFA. So
TFA, please tell me you can hear us.
Because
Make
I'm
a
on my
private
iPad,
check.
yeah.
Yes, we
There
can hear
go.
you.
we can hear you.
Because
Just
I'm
fine.
on
Hi,
my iPad,
TFA.
I'm still fighting with my laptop. Hello.
That sucks.
But I mean, you're here, so there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Took the words
I
right out of
prefer
my
to be
mouth.
on my higher quality equipment, but I'll take what I
Yeah.
can get, I guess.
Right, so I'm just happy you're here, man. All right, so
Yeah,
we've been
thank
talking. The only thing we haven't talked about yet is the voice acting, and I'm saving that for last. So, TFA, let's start with you. What's your impression of the movie and your highlights and your lowlights?
I mean, first and foremost, let me just say that I've had the opportunity to see this movie 3 times. I got to take part in the advanced screening on Monday, June 5th, which was my father's 85th birthday. And that was courtesy of Instagram user FC203 for reaching out to me back in May, around May 18th, actually. He hooked me up with 2 free tickets.
Nice.
That's cool,
So we
man.
got to go all the way down.
Awesome.
We got to go all the way down to the West Shore AMC Theater down in Tampa. So that was.
Did
a nice
you
little
get
journey.
a collectible?
No, they weren't selling them. They said they weren't going to be selling them until Thursday.
Okay.
So, and then I got to see it again on my mother's birthday because the whole early access event on June 7th. She would have been 80 years old. And then I saw it again on Friday because I wanted to support the movie's official, like, worldwide or US release. Sorry, a little bit of humble brag, kind of. Like, I mean, it was good
it's cool,
times,
man.
So.
I'm happy for you. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
No, chill.
So in terms of, like, I don't want to say review because I don't like to review movies. I just don't. In terms of the experience, I would say I wasn't disappointed all 3 times. Like, I had my gripes. I think the pacing was just a little too fast in some cases. Like, the introduction could have been a lot different. But I'm glad that we got at least something. It was kind of cool to hear Ron Perlman as, like, the opening narration compared to, like, Peter Cullen. That was a nice little shift.
That's true.
Or like Sir Edmund Burton from The Last Night. I know a lot of people don't like The Last Night, but that's still probably up there in my top 3 favorite Transformers movies.
Really?
All
right.
What can I say? I'm a simple guy.
No, that's cool. It just people like different things. I like the second movie more than the third one, and apparently I'm in the minority there.
No, I have a friend that would love you.
All right.
Well, if only I could shoot laser beams out of my eyes, because you all would be destroyed.
Which one is your favorite? Is it this one? Is this your new favorite?
Probably, yeah, because it takes a lot of the good elements from TLK, because there is some good in there, mainly with the overall balance of like humans and Cybertronians on screen. So like it's like Stephen Capel Jr. said, when the Cybertronians are on screen, they're on screen. They take the scene. And I think a lot of the interaction between, our favorite robots in disguise and the humans was actually handled really well. There are a lot of introduction elements that very much remind me of the previous Transformers movies. Ergo, the whole scene with Mirage being Grand Theft Auto'd by Noah very much reminded me of Bumblebee in the 2007 film when Sam tries to, buy him from Bobby Bolivia's. And it also reminds me of when Hot Rod basically kidnapped Vivian in The Last Night. So kind of some funny like parallels there. The action, it was really nice to see the characters actually like be followed with camera movements and figuring out like who's fighting. Like, I know that's a very common thing that a lot of people complain about in the Michael Bay movies is like, you can't see who's fighting who, but like, I don't have any problem with it. Do I just have better eyes? I don't know. But it's nice
I've never understood that argument either. I'm just like, were we watching the same film?
I guess
Right?
you compare it to
I can
casual
follow
people who don't like have an eye for those designs. They don't look at the renders or stuff. They just see the movie.
Again, general audience. Yeah.
But it was nice to see like the action actually be like followed through for a change. Like Bumblebee gave us that a little bit. Like I think it really pulled through during like the main fights, like with Blitzwing, Dropkick, and Shatter.
Yeah, they were really good fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like they threw in some like Bay style elements in this fighting, because it's like you got a dozen characters on screen pretty much. I mean, you're talking about an Autobot team comprised of like 4 characters in the beginning during the museum fight, and then 3 Terracons.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't exactly give everyone like their own separate scene of like fighting.
Stratosphere. I mean, other than his epic entrance, rolling on his bum and then, barfing up a piece of himself, but you didn't see him do much other than fly him somewhere and then fly him out. And
and at his size, he would have been a good asset.
I think he might be too big for himself, and that was the problem. Like he's not necessarily. He's described as not a fighter, but someone who just likes flying. So I don't think every Autobot needs to be a warrior type.
I agree.
Well, that's valid.
That's a good point. So, what about you, Brian? What's your overall feeling?
I think the issue with Rise of the Beast is not that there's a single problem or something that I hate about this movie. It's the fact that there's nitpicks that seem to pile up to where it kind of at some point kind of drags the film. It's almost like if you had a horse and a carriage and you just kept putting stuff in the carriage, that's gonna be a huge weight on the horse, if that makes sense. But
analogy.
I still really enjoy the movie. And that's not just me saying that because we haven't had a live action movie in a while. I can't really call it a Beast Wars movie, but I'm glad that Beast Wars is the influence of, with the Maximals. I would like to see more of them, but at least they weren't handled like the Dinobots. So thank God for
That's
that.
a good point. They were
thing.
given better treatment.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah. I honestly had to rethink, did Rhinox have a single line? And apparently he did, just one.
No. Yeah. At the end of the credit, Rhinox is not... There's no voice actor listed for Rhinox.
I remember him
as an actor, but Rhinox doesn't.
Weird. I remember him grunting a whole lot or growling a whole lot.
But like whenever he's charging in Rhino. I had JJ Prime actually message me the other day because he saw the movie and he was like, "Oh, Rhinox actually does have one line, and it's whenever Noah, I forget exactly when, but you see Primal and Rhinox in their robot modes, and like we'll cover the line or something like that, or we'll take point.
That's
and it's
right.
Like, everyone's saying like that's Rhinox. That's not Rhinox. That's Primal. You can
that is Primal.
That's Optimus Primal.
Yeah,
it's weird because he was casted with a voice actor, even though the credits don't say it, and I guess they cut it out.
Yeah,
There was someone there to record lines.
yeah. David
But
Silver.
I did like hearing Cheetor. I thought his voice actually fit perfectly. My big issue is that we finally get to see the robot modes at the end, and it kind of sucks because not just for AirRaiser, but like now you have to gauge these designs, and they're like two of them are gray. So unless you're looking at the weapons, it's hard to tell because everyone else is gray too. All the Derricons are gray.
It's gray on gray at the last.
I think that would have been fine if you can get a good look at them, and it just doesn't. It constantly swerves around. You can barely get a look at Cheetor. I couldn't tell if he had a face mask or an actual mouth.
Yeah, I couldn't really see his face at all. It went by fast.
I will say, I really like Peter Dinklage as Scourge.
Yes.
Dinklage did a good job. But we're gonna talk voice acting, and I guess that's my thing.
I wasn't done.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I like Noah. I like that they gave him a suit. That was pretty cool, even though that's mask shifting.
The CGI was terrible for the face on the suit. That's just
it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
but I still enjoyed it. I just wish there was more to the Predacons, because anyone will say, "Well, you got Scorponok. Is he technically a Predacon at this point?"
Well,
the only real instance of having
that.
anything related to Predacons was you could see the logo on Scourge. That was it. So the Predacons had just as much influence as the Wreckers, because there were also Wrecker logos on them, or the Decepticons.
What were you going to say at TFA?
No, I said I could actually answer the whole thing about the Scorponok being Predacons.
Okay.
So my buddy Cyborg Raptor, he got to see the movie at a test screening last year. And obviously, like, a lot of it was changed. And
Optimus Prime didn't get to wear Wheeljack's glasses.
Yeah. That would have been funny. And obviously the whole, like, Optimus versus Transit scene. But there was one, I forget the exact person, the character who said it, but there was a character that points out the pods. I think it was Noah. And then Primal says something, but like Noah says, like, what the hell are those things? And then Primal retorts, Predacons.
All right, so Scorponok is the Predacon, or they are the Predacons.
Scourge also has a Terracon logo as one of his badges.
I don't see that. I've been trying to look because I've been.
I can find it on the toy here because I got it.
I thought
I haven't found it to pick it up. I do plan on picking
I'm not picking up any of the movie figures.
Right at the bottom, right.
Hold on. Let me blow you up.
You can't really see it. The camera's too blurry.
No, try again.
It's right above a Maximal logo in the corner there.
Yeah, okay.
I can kind of see
it.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought everyone was talking about, like, it's on the actual character model.
It might be on the character as well, but
I've been trying to look at, like.
Well, they had the Autobot. What is that? Autobot Academy. He had one of those.
The Elite Guard.
Elite Guard. That's it. The Elite Guard on his, I believe, his left shoulder. Yeah. So I was like,
a couple Decepticon insignias. He had a couple Maximal insignias. He had some Autobots, and then.
You know what? It would have been fun if he had the GoBot logo.
We did, like, Renegade. He had the Wreckers, he had Predacons, Decepticons, he had
that's Scourge's true story. He's a reject GoBot.
So he's basically Lockdown, only not Lockdown.
It was pretty cool to kind of see that, like, parallel between him and Lockdown. I did like that. I'm glad.
I just need to say, who's breathing into the mic so
loud? I think it's Optination. I just texted him.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. It's just I'm feeling that right in my ear. So.
It's all good. All right, so okay, because I'm trying to I watched it. All right, I went. I was alone. When I mean alone, I was the only guy in my row. There was a couple people behind me, but I was at the all the
Hey,
front
Chauncey.
section. I was in the back row of the front section so that I had nobody kicking in my seat. That's what I prefer.
Welcome, Chauncey.
Nobody's screaming, "Oh hell no!"
Well, there was a couple point where I kind of went, all right, whatever. But I know I'm trying to figure out if I liked it because I know I didn't hate it, and I can't even say that I disliked it. It just I'm kind of like right in the middle. Like it didn't move me. There wasn't like okay, my favorite scene when I think it's terrible because it's a human scene, but in the second movie when the dad and the mother come back because they've been captured by whatever Decepticon, and now they're trying to use the parent as bait. And finally, they get rescued with Bumblebee, and now Sam has to leave, and his dad is like, "I'm coming with you," and he's like, "No, you have to let me go." And that whole interaction of "you have to let me go," that really got to me. Like I felt something. And in other scenes in the other movies, although I didn't like, most of them, but the first one and the second one, there was scene where I felt like when Optimus gets the shit kicked out of him in the forest, I felt something. This one here, the whole movie, I was like, all right, at the beginning, there was a couple good points, good spots where I felt like, this is sad. This is great. This looks amazing. Like, the design and everything. Even not Jazz, god damn it. Even Hot Rod. No, Mirage. He was, he was fun, he was lovable, and I had the biggest reservation about Pete Davidson, but he did a great job. So it's just all of those things like I'm right in the middle. There's stuff I really didn't like, there's stuff I really enjoyed. But the voice acting, that's I think, and I'm gonna probably I don't know if I'm gonna get a lot of hate on that, but I think this was the best voice acting by Peter Cullen since G1.
Yeah,
hands down. He really he went in there. Prime was in a Psycho Killer, so it felt more natural for Peter to do it, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he didn't redub pre-recorded stuff like he did in Bumblebee. And so Peter Cullen, hands down, the best part of that movie. Airraiser is my favorite character from Beast Wars. I think she's the most underused character in the series.
And underrated.
Yes, but this one fell flat on me. I'm not I like Michelle Yeoh. She's good in pretty much anything she did, even Star Trek stuff and those Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger. She was amazing in that. But I just didn't feel.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay, cool.
feel it. So.
She's definitely one of those.
Because most of her lines are in those meeting scenes.
Yeah. Maybe.
Every 20 minutes, they have to have a meeting about, this is how things are going to go. This is how things are going to happen.
She unfortunately was one of those cast members to be like, okay, we need a really big name to get people's attention and everyone will like, and that's why they probably casted her.
Nobody went to see it because of the big names.
Yeah.
That's what the studio...
Let's go watch the Michelle Yeoh Transformers movie.
Well, exactly. That's not a line you'll hear. Oh, Peter Dinklage in there? Wow, that's going to be a sexy villain.
Ron Perlman?
Yeah. So I didn't feel it, but I really hated Wheeljack. Not just the design, the character as a whole. Wheeljack is trash.
Yeah.
Like,
see, whereas I felt differently. I liked Michelle Yeoh's portrayal of Airraiser. I felt it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Didn't come across as strongly as say, the original Airraiser character did, but I think she did a good job. And Wheeljack, I'm not only standing beside you on that one, I am jumping up and down on it, then throw it in the fire, and then just to watch it burn, because that Wheeljack was not good. I'm sorry, it was just Well, not well done.
Yeah.
I guess I'm in
Optination,
the
what's your
minority on
thoughts
this one
on
now.
Wheeljack? You've seen it 4 times.
Wait, what?
So my thoughts on Wheeljack, and yes, I've seen it 4 times. Is I didn't like, but I also didn't really hate him. But I'm just glad that his lines were kept to a minimum.
Fair
I hate
point.
that he stole Rat Trap's line.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Say that
was
again,
definitely-
Brian.
He stole Rat Trap's line. We're all gonna die.
He did.
See? That's one
Chauncey-
more reason to hate him.
I don't
I-
know.
She says, "I would go to Michelle Yeoh TF movie.
Yeah.
I would. I'd do it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm in
Guys,
the
check out the
minority.
Michelle Yeoh Transformers movie in theaters right now.
Yeah.
I'd do it. I'd do it. I'd buy us all tickets.
I guess
So
I'm
yeah,
in
I don't feel like Wheeljack was Wheeljack at all. They could have called him
Fix
Scrap
it.
Iron or
Pablo.
Fix it.
Fix It would have been a okay name, you know.
Perceptor.
No,
Mm,
no,
They could
no.
have called
Dude,
him
I just interviewed Paul Eiding last Sunday on this very channel, so everybody go watch that. And he's such an and now okay, I wasn't supposed to go to TFCon this year because wild money and I there was David K, Venus Terzo going, and so I'm like, if I have another big name, maybe I'll go. And then on my interview, he let out that he was going to TFCon in Toronto, and I'm like, I don't think that's been announced yet. And then he kind of looked at me like, really? I'm like, no. So it just got announced today. So I got a scoop, man. I got a scoop. So fantastic man. If you have a chance to listen to my interview or actually meet him, do it. He's absolutely amazing. We spoke a lot about the war and the fact that he was in the music troop, military music troop, like the 3rd Infantry Martin Glee Club. That was fantastic discussion. So anyway, so no, I don't think that that version of Wheeljack would have been a good Perceptor either.
I like Soundwave 84 equating him to a red shirt in Star Trek. I think that's yeah.
Just for me personally, when you think of science-based Transformers characters, the go-tos are normally like Wheeljack, Perceptor, those type of guys. So I mean,
yeah, but I don't think of butterflies.
butterflies are scientific though.
Right?
Hold on, we have 2 Optination. Dude, are you on crack?
Uh-oh.
He's 2 places at a time.
One,
He's
two,
time
three.
traveling.
One's 8-Blink, one's Optimus Primal.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Now I know he's having problem with sound, so he probably did something. There you go.
Or just probably connection issues.
Yeah, it happens.
Right.
But overall, like, I like the fact when they're talking about how they're going to get to Peru, and they're like, well, I like flying. I just got to fly first class, and then RC chips in with that quip, man. Well,
RC.
Oh, he is a plane.
kind of a plane, and he was like, no, oh no.
I'm walking to Peru.
That was a great line. That really was a great line.
Yeah.
I laughed.
Brian,
I'm walking here.
Which theater did you go to, Brian? Because I know you're in Canada, so. Cineplex Odeon.
I can't remember what theater it's called.
Did you get this piece of tin?
No, I didn't.
What did you get?
I
Did
didn't
you
get
get
it.
anything?
Nah.
Were they selling anything?
I don't know if they were. I don't think they were.
I
Okay.
can check my theater.
I really would have loved to have one of the bucket heads.
But you know what? It doesn't matter because the day before I watched it, I got Scourge.
Right.
There you go. See, they didn't offer anything at my theater either, Brian.
I got
on that. They
if they
didn't offer
didn't
it.
see it, I got this cool RC.
See,
Oh wow, I would have gotten that.
yeah, I would have gotten
But
that
it's
too.
just a drink cover. All right, we
Pretty
lost
cool.
Optination.
I
forgot
had
to check.
one for Age of Extinction though. I got a Bumblebee keychain head. So
It's
I
my
forgot to-
first collectible that I get from a theater. I usually
I
don't.
forgot
collect them. Yeah, it's just not something I wasn't collecting back then, and now this kind of looks still good. I would have preferred the truck, like Optination had it, the popcorn truck.
Do you guys
Um,
even have AMCs up there?
we don't have AMCs. We have Sniplex Odeon, which are the probably biggest. It used to be Famous Player, but then they got bought out by Sniplex Odeon.
So merger type stuff. Got it.
Well, hostile takeover.
Right.
Target.
Yeah. So, what do you have in your area, Brian? Is Odeon there?
I believe. I don't remember the theater names.
Okay.
I just go to it and I'm like, oh, I'll watch a movie.
No, there you go. Well, that's probably the best way.
forgot
So
to
anyway,
check
I got
while
my
we're on it.
popcorn. I got my stuff. So it was. I still enjoyed the experience. Overall.
We went to a smaller theater usually, and then that got closed down. So that's why I don't remember the names, because we now have to go to other theaters now.
When you say
Yeah,
like small
mine is
theater,
called mine is called the Starlight Cinema. It's just this tiny little thing in Independence, and it's not very big. And
Okay.
when you
Yeah.
say
Now
small
I'm at the top.
when you
Can
say
you
small
hear us,
theater, Brian?
Optination? I know you had sound problems earlier.
If you speak now, I'll get you a slug.
Actually, I'm waiting for them to announce. I hope they release the 6th core class Dinobot soon,
What?
because
Okay.
I want them for my
I'll be right
5-year.
back, guys.
They just showed
Okay.
Snarl.
They did today.
Well, they didn't, but someone has Snarl now. So there's a complete Volcanicus.
And is that someone a versus
What is a versus? You mean
Prime versus Prime? He's the
Oh.
thief that gets every friggin' thing.
yeah?
No,
it's
it's not.
actually
It's-
a pretty casual guy on eBay that ends up getting pretty much.
Oh
any
yeah,
reason and
what was
selling
his
them.
name?
I forget.
No, hold on. I know that because I sent it to Matthew, who runs. What does he run? Transformers Stock Raw, and so he's all about the thief and everything. And there was a guy who was selling something. I think it was one of those. Man, I can't remember. Hold on.
What I do know is the guy's on Yahoo Japan, and he's also on eBay, and he sold like Studio Series Hot Rod and Crosshairs. He sold the Velocitron line. He sold
Oh, there he is.
a Commander class Armada.
It's Pocket Chick Nick 999, and he sells right now. He has a Shadow Striker, a Dreadwing, and Shattered Glass Hot Rod for sale on eBay right now.
Yeah. There's the
Yeah.
Snarl.
Oh, he looks good.
Why is he the most good-looking one compared to everyone else?
Yeah, it was really I get them for. Oh man, he looks cute.
He looks like the leader.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they couldn't replicate that with the other. I'm not trying to be that guy and complain.
Oh no! You're not that guy. You're everybody. It's the
Like, I get
most
it's a
of the
scale
Dinobots
thing,
are
but at
trash.
least- Like, I get it's a scale thing, and you're now introducing a combiner element, but like, God's sake.
Yeah, but I have all 5, and I'm waiting for the other one, because either I'm gonna get it to give it. Yeah, I don't get the whole Toxitron line.
I have not saw any of them, but this
I
is
want
from a
'em.
guy who will collect any Dinobots figure. But honestly, whoa, are those G2
I've seen the
colors?
Jazz because that's part of
It's
Wave
all
1.
G2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
and most of them are based on prototypes.
Yeah, that orange and red Jazz, I'm probably gonna pass on. I just don't care.
Oh.
But that laser cycle Jazz for Wave 2 looks
But
pretty sick.
Is the Toxitron like a replacement of Velocitron, or it's just the next wave of Velocitron?
So it is technically replacing the Velocitron wave. The Velocitron was meant to be just part of the first part of Legacy, and then this is now Legacy Evolution.
Okay.
And so not
Okay.
many people
Toxitron
have-
is the evolution part. Okay.
and now
Yeah,
not
and
many people.
And I saw some pictures of the Toxitron toy that's supposedly coming out, and wow, I've been wanting a new Toxitron since forever. And Brian's right there with me because I know he loves the character as much as I do.
Mm-hmm.
He
So
should be
we've
coming
talked
out on
about
July
this
21st,
before.
according to Pulse.
Say again?
He should be coming out on July 21st, according to Pulse.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't wait for it. And you know, I'm not the greatest fan of that G2 Laser Prime mold, but I'll take a Toxitron out of that any day, every day.
I have the
Because
Scourge.
I want the
that mold.
Menasor, that
It's
unreleased
really good.
Menasor.
oh yeah, that might see.
That
I'm
would
not a
look
Mentor
nice.
guy. I could easily, walk on by it, but
But
now that
yeah.
you mention it that way, yeah,
But
that
now
could be.
there's 2 G2 Stunticons, right, that are out. So the rest is following soon.
Yeah,
There's
drag
a
strip
listing for
or
them right? Sorry.
shadow
Hey,
strip from Velocitron.
Ionicus, Galaxy Shuttle is shelf warming in Canada. So I think the whole
Lucky.
shipment was sent. They skipped the US and went straight to Canada for once. So yeah,
Which is funny because I want the Scourge.
It hasn't showed up and probably will never show up. You know what? Toy? I get these kinds of toys in my
why did you
storage
buy this?
pile. I didn't buy this one. I
Oh,
didn't buy this one.
you found
But
it?
I know it was given to me, so
Hold on,
that
I
isn't
wanna-
bad. That isn't bad.
Yeah, it's not the repaint I was thinking of, but yeah.
That isn't bad. But yeah, I want the Toxitron really, really badly. I really, really want because
I need to get
Send me
breakdown.
Hold on, just for Ionicus, send me an Instagram message next time, or Messenger. Well, actually, no, send it on Instagram. But next time I'm at Walmart, if I find one, I'll text you.
This one?
Yeah, you know what? The moment that was announced, I pre-ordered it and I got it like within a month from Walmart directly.
you guys are so
And that's my favorite mold of War for Cybertron overall. Is that I don't care that the shuttle is a little loopy compared to the train, and I even got the Toy Hanks decals for it to turn the train into the Galaxy Express, and it's while they could have used a little more decals, but it was a really good set.
So you said that we were lucky out here. I gotta say and correct you. I have not found breakdown, and he's the only Stunticon that I need.
No, I haven't bought any of this stuff. Not one. Well, I take that back. Somebody got me drag strip, but I that's it wasn't for me trying because frankly I'm not a Stunticon guy. I'm just not. I don't get
freedom because I just happen to have the rest. So I was like, oh damn.
Well, for me, it's like just because I don't like something, I hope everybody else gets them because, hey, if I don't get them, that's just more for everybody else. That's the way I look at it. And I don't like the Stunticons, which means that, hey, more for everyone else. If they can find them, like you said, if you can find them.
I might have to get another Motormaster.
What's up with your Motormaster? Did it color change on you?
Finally yellowed. Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
That's terrible. Well, how's the up to nation? How's distribution in your area? You're having problem finding stuff, or
Not really. Well, okay, I take that back. It depends on which Walmart or Target I go to. If I go to one in downtown, surprisingly, yes, I will have issues. But when I go to one more locally to me, I find a lot of stuff.
okay? Because I'm lucky because for the mainline figures, I have DJC Collectibles, who's 20 minutes from here, half hour from here, or I can take a ferry, and he gets all the main line, and I have my discount because of the sponsorship. So I'm lucky for the mainline stuff. But what's really a problem is hunting down, the Origins characters. I was lucky, found it at Toys R Us because we have like 5-6 Toys R Us in Ottawa.
I finally got him coming. I finally got him
There you
Ultra Megatronus found one
Did
for
you
me.
find it, Brian?
I bought Bender Orange sent me
He
it.
said it to you, okay? Because I could have picked one up for you.
What's the name of that retailer you have a sponsorship with?
Yeah. Hold on. Let's shamelessly plug my favorite online
This
store.
video is brought to you by
DJC. Oh, where's input? I did invite input as I usually do, but he hadn't seen the movie, so I told him to
Boo!
never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna present.
I wasn't supposed to see it until this weekend, but a friend of mine suddenly showed up, knocked on my door, and said, "Hey, you want to go see a film right now?" And I was like, "You mean right now? It's like midnight." He said, "Yeah, come on, let's go." So we went.
All right. So this
Wow.
is DJC Collectible. He's my sponsor. So if you go to the homepage, he has every freaking collection except freaking Mecha Gargoyles. He unfortunately was not able to secure them, but he has like expensive 1-inch, 1/6 scales. This week
so much
new
for trying to get that
arrivals,
word
and
on
then he has
2-pack.
all the Star Wars, vintage, GI Joe, Super Ultimate stuff, NECA Turtles, but not NECA Gargoyles. I've been bugging him, and he's not able to get them.
And what is this called again?
DJC Collectibles. And he has, well, I have all my bookmarks here. The Transformers. So let's say he's, has access to the Beast War stuff that it's coming. And look, it actually sold out.
Yeah, I meant to order that, and I kept forgetting. So
Yeah,
I
it just
felt
sold
bad.
out because it was there this morning.
Yeah.
So the Nemesis is there. So see, now I'm gonna pick up these two and Dirge. Oh, you took it down. I guess I picked up the last one. And then he has the core class in a separate category. And they're selling out crazy. Starscream, the repackage. I'm actually missing that one for my kid.
I'm just looking for breakdown.
Yeah, it's not there. I already checked. Sorry, man.
Damn
And
it.
then the D&D Dice Ling. If you like Dungeons and Dragons and Transformers, get those Dice Lings. They're awesome. So that's just the fun. And if you watch one of my video, you can get 10% on anything Transformers. Not anything, just anything Transformers.
I've been meaning to get that Ward on 2-pack because I have a feeling when Hasbro PulseCon happens, that thing's probably going to sell out pretty fast. Then again, maybe it won't because the Orion packs and Alpha Trion 2-pack didn't really sell that fast. Those lasted about a year.
Dude,
How did I get so lucky with shrapnel?
I got lucky with the Alpha Trion pack because I skipped it because I already have third parties, Legend Scale. But then when they announced the Dion pack, I got it, and then it didn't scale at all. So I went on GameStop.ca, found one in Saskatoon and one on somewhere in New Brunswick, and I called my local store because they wouldn't ship to me. I couldn't order it online, and I'm like, can you call them and have it shipped to your place? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So I got it for retail.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, I get lucky.
Are we? I hate sounding like that guy. Are we still talking Rise of the Beast by any chance? Because
if you want to talk more about it, sure. Yeah. RC, how's everybody feeling? I think she was good. She was probably the more.
I thought it was funny watching her inside Wheeljack.
Yeah, that was but actually, Transformers, that's always
Why did they have to cut out that one joke? Like, I get why they had to cut out that one joke, but that would have been funny to hear.
What one joke?
There's again, courtesy of my buddy Cyborg Raptor, there was one line of dialogue, like slight extended scene based on that whole thing, and it's hinted in the test screening that RC has like a thing for Wheeljack, kind of like homaging the first draft of the first 86 movie where they were supposed to kind of be like a couple in a way. And as they're kind of just like sitting there, like she's just sitting inside Wheeljack's van mode. Wheeljack says like, so RC, it's been a while since you've been inside me. I mean,
yeah.
Wow.
But that's Bay versus juvenile humor, kind of. So
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
also
know.
like that pretty much.
But
in,
I
like,
think
most-
she looked really good, except that shot where she dodged the missile and she like got the open mouth, like whoa. I'm like, yeah, that's kind
That
of
was kind of
weird.
cringy, actually.
No,
Yeah,
I honestly think she was saying like, "Oh fuck," and then
Oh.
obviously muted it
Yeah.
I don't know.
because the way her mouth was moving, you could tell that like she was about to enunciate an F.
Maybe you know what? Maybe that's a
Could be.
good. It's a good
Oh, so I
point.
got to give credit to Liza Koshy because that chick started off as like a Vine person when Vine was still around, and like now she's like in voice acting. And has anyone here ever seen Disney? I think it's Disney XD or just Disney, but Hamster and Gretel.
Hmm.
Nope.
No, she plays a newscaster apparently. But I got to give her credit; like she's really good as RC. Personally, I would have preferred if it was originally like Grey Delisle or
Hold on,
Sumali
who's the
Matano,
actress you
but-
said?
Liza Koshy?
Who's the actress that played her?
Liza Koshy.
Liza.
She started off as a Viner back in, I want to say, 2016.
Yeah, I
Maybe
gotta
slightly
head
earlier?
out, but you guys have fun.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's sad, Brian.
Yeah,
Have a
go
good night.
out, man. Sorry, man.
Join us
All
again
right.
sometime.
Hope I
Take
haven't
care,
been talking
Brian,
over
man.
anything.
So yeah.
Have a good night,
Take
Brian.
care.
Later.
Wow.
Mr.
But yeah, I enjoy. You know, I really did enjoy the look of her. And, you know, I enjoyed the voice actress too. I think she was a strong character in the film. Much more so than she was in any of the Bay films. All of one film she was in.
There are
and she got blowed up.
There are a couple lines that Liza delivers kind of weird in this movie. Like whenever she's first introduced and she's like, you know, Prime, this is RC. I have a visual. What am I looking at? You can tell that those are lines that are clipped together because it doesn't sound like natural. It sounds like she had to do maybe a couple of takes, or maybe it's just me, like my
No, I agree.
ADHD hyper focus type thing. Because it sounds like two different lines. Like it sounds like she recorded multiple takes and they just obviously went with like the best take, but it
Okay.
sounds clipped together.
Could be. Maybe I need to rewatch the movie.
And then the way that she also pronounces air razor, like how Michelle Yeoh says, like, my name is Air Razor. I'm like, no. It's Air
Man,
Razor.
I
Right.
heard yeah, you're right about that, TFA. I heard one of the directors or somebody, and he called her Air Razor. I'm like,
No.
what? I mean, get the name right, man.
Yeah.
That was just
bothered me
weird.
so bad, just as equal as much as it did with
Well,
Optimus referring to Bumblebee as B the entire movie. I'm like,
Yeah,
why?
but I mean, that's kind of a good point. Like, it's something that they did better in the Bumblebee movie than they did in G1. Okay, and that's the only thing is that on Cybertron in G1 he was already called Bumblebee, but there is no Bumblebee on Cybertron. You know, there's no bees, there's no insects.
That's
And
true.
so the fact that that in the Bumblebee movie he was B127 or some shit.
No, you're right. B127.
Exactly. So that made sense. And then after that he wants to be Bumblebee. And that's cool. And Optimus is like, all right, that's your name. The fact that he still calls him B, you know, that could be just because he's been calling him B127 for like, you know, centuries.
millions of years.
See,
Yeah.
I had a similar discussion on my TFTC episode about that. And
Okay.
like people pointed out, like my panelists pointed out, mainly my buddy Cyborg Raptor pointed out that like it might have been like a struggling transition for Optimus, but it just feels really weird to hear Optimus refer to Bumblebee as B all the time. Like in every Transformers movie, Prime always refers to Bumblebee as Bumblebee at least once. He says the full name. So to hear him being acknowledged like, you know, like a real close friend in like a way they give each other nicknames, it just feels weird. Like with Prime, there's a respect to it. Everyone acknowledges the rank of Prime.
Because they're a military unit, and you respect the title, and
Yeah.
But with Optimus calling Bumblebee B all the time, like he could have said, especially during like the hillside battle with Scourge, like instead of him just going like, this is for B. It's like you could have said this is for Bumblebee, and then then you would
yeah,
have got the one off. But no, they just called him B all the
and
time, and it's just like ugh.
yeah, and
Weird.
why are they sticking with the non-speaking Bumblebee? I'm tired of this. I'm really tired of this.
I thought they did it pretty well in this movie.
It's still work, like it's R2D2 painted yellow, you know?
Sorry.
That's how I feel about it. You're just missing C3PO translating for everyone. So
I mean, hey, just watched last night. Oh, what?
No, watch the end of 2007. Wait, what? No, that's not connected anymore.
Oh, that's right. Well, no, okay. That's one thing I wanted to mention. They kept confusing people, saying yes, it's connected to the Babers. It's in the same universe, but it's a spin-off. There's no freaking way that these two movies are now connected. Any chance at reconciliating everything to make it one continuity is gone. Because now Unicron is external, and we're in 1990, and everybody's already on Earth, and they can get back to Cybertron, and it doesn't tie into 2007 at all.
Well, it doesn't help that Lorenzo D. Bonaventura keeps saying, like, oh, yeah, they're all connected. And I'm like,
How?
they're not, though. I mean, in a way, if you want to, like, pick at them with, like, very minute threads and find a way to connect them, sure. You can make your own, like, fan theories and be like, well, maybe at the end of the last night, Unicron destroyed that universe and reset it, just like how, in Transformers Energon, after Unicron got destroyed, Cybertron became its own thing, even though in Japan it wasn't supposed to be.
They could go the whole J.J. Abrams Star Trek route, and we'll just make a new continuity.
Well, in Star Trek they did it really nicely, and
Yeah.
it worked, and it didn't kill off the existing universe. I think you're right, TFA. This one should have been that. There should have been an explanation at some point. Sorry, I just caught a fly. There should have been an explanation that Scourge is Optimus Prime from the Bavers, and Unicron somehow, even after being stopped in the last night, he eventually woke up and converted Prime, and then Ironhide, or no, he was already dead. Somebody else. And RC into Nightbird, like, corrupted them, like he did with Megatron, Scourge, and Galvatron and stuff,
Yeah.
And then these now they serve him, and they're stuck, like, and then they use the key to navigate to the next universe, because that's part of Unicron's lore already. That's what he does. Destroys the universe, moves on.
Seem like you're trying to like steer away from that though, because I guess after Cybertron, everyone's like, "Well, how's Unicron in every universe in the same being?" And it's like he's a multiversal singularity.
Yeah, well, that's the difference between Primus. Is Primus lives everywhere at the same time. Unicron can live anywhere, but one universe at the time. So that's, and I think that kind of makes sense. Like, he's a super predator, really. He just moves from one universe to the other, and I like that concept. I don't know if you guys played the Mass Effect games.
Oh, love them.
I'm meaning
love
to.
them. They're one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah,
it's been on my backlog for a while.
Yeah, it's on Steam right now. I think on sale, the Legendary Edition.
I have that.
I think I got it for PS4, PS5 from PlayStation.
Yeah, I suggest you actually play them, because the story is really good, and they have a concept of super predator in there, and
the Reaper.
Yeah, and it's amazing. So I see Unicron as a super predator, and he's just, so if they would have used the key at the end, or just instead of having the introduction of the Beast Wars, from it, they're just another planet, and then they use the transwarp key to jump somewhere, maybe go back in time. I'm still not convinced that they went back in time.
I have a problem with how the movie ended, because of the whole reason because You remember when they're talking about getting to the bridge and they said, well, and we just blow it up. Well, if we blow it up, the planet kind of goes with it. And then what happens at the end? They blow it up.
Yeah.
I'm just like, really? Didn't you just say 5 minutes ago that
Did they
that's
mention?
a very bad idea?
Did they mention that it was the planet or just the transwarp bridge?
No,
'Cause
they I think they wasn't it Primal said no, you'll destroy us all or something.
maybe
Something
I don't
along
know,
those
because
lines.
I remember him bringing up the hologram, which honestly should have been Rhinox's thing since he's like the tech specialist of the Maximals. But anyway, I digress. I could have sworn it was Prime. I know it was Primal, but I could have sworn he said like if you remove the transwarp key during this process, it'll ignite itself like a bomb. I don't think it
Yes.
said it would destroy the planet.
Yeah. No, I think it's
I think it was just one of those things where it's like it's
Yeah.
basically like a nuke, and then it would destroy everyone within that proximity.
exactly, which it
Hmm.
kind of almost did. And then you have Kicker, or whatever his name, holding on Optimus Prime, like he's able to carry all that weight and
Right.
be grounded without having magnetic boots.
Right?
And then
They could have been magnetic. We don't really know that.
Wow,
Plus,
I
he had
guess
those
so.
For me,
side
so
cleat
here you
spike
have
things.
this maybe 6'1", 6'2" guy, right? And he's holding Prime, which is probably 25 tons of
Yeah.
robot. And I'm thinking,
Here's the thing.
exosuit or not, come on.
Here's the thing, though, about that type of stuff, right? Is people find a way to nitpick and try to like really put the science behind everything. It's just
That's
fiction.
me.
Like,
Well,
why
yeah,
try to
no,
go for
I
like
get
this?
that.
Like, why try to go for like the pseudo realism? I've seen so many people complain. Not saying anyone here is complaining, but I've seen so many people complain about like, oh, why is Noah part of the Optimus and Scourge fight? It's because Transformers have always had the human element.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah,
This is
like
not
Spike
new.
saved Cybertron and Earth from a solar explosion.
Sam killed Megatron
Yeah.
and Starscream. I hate that last one, but still, it happened.
Oh, that's right. The boots were transforming and locking on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
they
right.
had
There
like
was that
feet sticking
little
out of the
bit.
side of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
so
had
then
what-
his feet
in
should
the
have ripped
comics,
off. But
it
anyway.
was Buster, not Sparkplug or it was Buster Witwicky and
Oh, in the comics, yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
and heck, he joined with at one point, and I think in the G2 comics, was it the G2 comics where he combined with Metroplex again?
Don't you mean Fortress Maximus?
Fortress Maximus, yeah, you're right. And
Oh, it was Buster in the G1 comics
yeah, Buster.
that replaced Spike as the head. Okay, cool.
Yep. It was Buster. So there was some differences there. Well, with the comic, it was the comic came out before the cartoon did, and they hadn't really ironed out as much as they did with the cartoon, which is still comics. I love Marvel original Marvel run. I loved them. I like the Marvel UK run too. I much as I dislike a lot of Furman's work, I think the Transformers Marvel UK stuff was probably some of the most brilliant writing in Transformers history, in my opinion. And others may disagree, and that's fine. But I miss a lot of that writing style. But as far as the writing in this film, now if we equate it to what's going on in this film, I didn't see a lot of solid writing in the film. There were gaps where there shouldn't have been, where it just felt like there was some dialogue missing. Like you go from one scene to the next, like, what?
Yeah, but it wasn't as bad as other.
Yeah, it wasn't
Transformers.
obvious, but it was
Yeah,
there.
like the
Like
last night.
I think that's one of the thing I actually liked was that it flowed a little better.
The pacing's still a little bit off, but yeah, I mean the story's not as
Yeah.
convoluted as a lot of people thought it would be, because it's like, how the hell are you going to introduce the Maximals without establishing the lore that they're from the future and descendants of the Autobots? How are you going to introduce Unicron right away? How are you going to explain that the Autobots have been on Earth, ever since Bumblebee? I mean, yeah, a few lines of dialogues doesn't hurt, but it's still like you're introducing all these different elements, and it's almost like The Last Night 2.0. Except this time it was a bit more stable compared to, again, The Last Night.
Yeah,
I
it
love how I'm
wasn't-
bashing my favorite Transformers movie.
It wasn't as seamless as I would liked it to have been, but and it is. it's not an obvious gap here and there, but there are subtle gaps in the writing that make you go, huh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're definitely. Well, let's be honest. Also, no one's gonna want to sit there for like a full 2.5 hour. Again, last night did that. Look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree.
they obviously were trying to aim for a more sustainable length for audiences, because it's like they're not trying to just cater to Transformers fans. They're trying to get everyone involved in this. They want they want general audiences as well. If they were just doing Transformers movies for Transformers fans, I guarantee you we probably wouldn't get another one, considering how critical we can be.
Yeah. And I think this time I guess they linked humanity to it less, but it was more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that, in the first Transformers movie, Megatron has been on Earth for, I don't know, million years. And then in the second movie, you find out that the Primes came here and sacrificed themselves to prevent the Fallen from completing his device. And then in the third movie, it's like, oh, they've also been on the moon. And then the one after that, oh, Bumblebees was in World War II, or that was the last night.
No,
and
that was last night. The next
and then,
one.
Age of Extinction. What was the link?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
The Age of Extinction was dinosaurs. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last night was also Merlin. Merlin is some guy who spoke to a freaking three-headed dragon.
Oh, yeah. and by the way, Unicron just happens to be the planet Earth,
Yeah.
a la Transformers Prime.
I mean, you can definitely tell with the later Transformers movies, like Age of Extinction last night, those were things that are we're seeing things that people liked from the Transformers franchise, so let's put them in a live-action movie. Because during 2012, everyone was super fixated on the Dinobots.
Mm-hmm.
Comics were doing it, the video game did it, and they did it tremendously. And, then Transformers Prime was a big thing from the 2010s, so then obviously they saw that, and it's okay, let's make Earth Unicron like Transformers Prime.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that did.
I have to say that Transformers Prime was better than all 5 movies together.
Yeah.
To me.
But it's with Rise of the Beast, I mean, you still have some of those live action movie elements just kind of sprinkled in. Some of the dialogue is very Bayverse-esque. I love the whole interaction backwards, rebuttal between Noah and Wheeljack during their first encounter, where it's this character would say that this might be vaguely racist, but on the other hand, it's the character saying it to the human character.
Yeah, but that kind of I've seen a couple things online where people were it raised some type of controversy, and I'm like, dude, it's just a movie and it's a robot. Move on,
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like everybody.
But it's still funny though, because it's making fun of itself. It's making fun of the previous Transformers movies that used to have those racial stereotypes.
And also, juvenile humor. I think that was a good thing. They got rid of all that juvenile humor.
Define what? You mean the innuendos and crap?
Well, yeah, or Bumblebee peeing on Agent
Simmons.
Stuff like that.
Simmons, yeah.
They got rid of that. And
as fun as it was that one time, about the fourth time you're watching it, and then it happens. Something kind of similar happens, not directly that scene, again, and it's
and then all the sex joke with Michaela and Carly after that, and it's come on,
yeah, Wheelie,
he's oh, they're in the desert, and he's you landed on my penis. I'm come on, man, they didn't need that. She could have landed there. Everybody else scattered. Why is she on this guy's
robot
head?
humping her leg? Yeah. Robot humping her leg like that.
I hated that.
Don't forget the dogs.
I would have punted that. And she's oh, but at least he's loyal. I'm going to hump your leg, and tell me I'm loyal after that.
Don't forget the dogs, because that was apparently crucial to the story.
Hey, gentlemen, I have to split.
Town.
So I got to get my mother to bed. So I have to split. And you gentlemen, thank you for such a wonderful time. Thank you for letting me join your Raz. Man, TFA, Optination, Brian, while you were still here, man, everybody in chat, Ionicus, Soundweb 8084, Chauncey, man, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic evening, have a fantastic weekend. if you don't see us here or somewhere live again. And by the way, Raz and I are working on a next book review series. I just finished reading the first book of the series that he introduced to me. So when we ever get that, he'll have more on that than I do at the moment, but information than I do. But I want everybody to make sure to go check out our now old book review series on my channel, and I'll look forward to joining him on his for Hyperion is the book title, and so make sure to come check us out on that. Make sure to check out my channel. Check out Optination Review. Check out TFA 24. Check us all out. Go check out Raz's. He's got an upcoming review of the Jazz, and I look forward to watching that. And later,
yeah, it was supposed to be tonight, but I pushed it back because I'm like, I'm going live, so it's Sunday.
Hey, that's cool. I'll check it out regardless. I watch all your videos, so it doesn't matter to me.
Thank you.
I don't always comment, but I always like them. At least that much. Just remember, folks, you don't have to comment all the time. It's nice when you do. Just leave a like. Always leave that like. Doesn't cost nothing to leave a click. Done. Anyway, bye. Later, gentlemen.
All right, take care, man.
See ya.
All right. So overall, I like the movie. I think I'm gonna say I liked the movie because that was the point of this, figuring out if I liked it. There's a lot of stuff that fell flat, but I think overall I did have a couple moments where I just went, oh man, this is good. Like, emotionally wise, at the beginning, seeing RC the first time, I was like, oh man, she looks good. She's awesome. I would have preferred Sue Blue to voice her, but that's just part of or my channel, what it is. I just love the voice actors, and I really fell in love with the voice acting business. Not to do with myself because I think I'd suck at it, but I really enjoyed the talking with these people. So I would have loved to see the original cast. Ian James Corlett as Cheetor would have been amazing as well. So,
that I feel like if they were to really attempt to try to cater on nostalgia a little bit more, I really feel like they should have got, obviously Richard Newman as Rhinox, Ian James Corlett as Cheetor, Gary Chalk as Optimus Primal.
Yeah.
I don't know if the voice
Pauline Newstone.
Is she still around?
Yeah. Well, I don't. Hold on, I'm gonna go check. I have a
it would have been cool
for
but
that.
Again, I obviously know why they do stuff like that because again, the big names get attention. But I will admit, it was really cool to hear Ron Perlman as Optimus Primal again because I loved him in Power of the Prime's Machinima.
Yeah, it looks like she's still alive.
Hey.
Yeah. Actually, I did. I'd like to be able to interview her a little bit. So yeah, I mean, just think. Honestly, Peter Cullen before the 2007 movie was, to the rest of the world, an unknown. We knew him.
That is true.
We knew him. He was, and I guess Hasbro pushed and the fans pushed to have Peter Cullen. I remember a very early interview before he got to the movie, or maybe he started being interviewed because he was reprising Optimus Prime, and people were interested in that. And he said he had no idea until he went to his first conventions in the 90s that Transformer was still something that people talked about. To him, it was a job, and he was done with it. And then he went to a convention one, and he's like, "Holy shit!" But he really fell in love with the idea that he inspired all of us. So now he respects the fan, and but the fact that Michael Bay, I'm going to say it, caved in after all the pressure that was put to bring that Peter Cullen, that launched Peter in superstardom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the dude finally got a Lifetime Achievement Award after so many years of vocal
exactly.
service.
But how many voice actors get that? Mel Blanc, Frank Welker. That's about it.
Yeah.
You never hear that. The guy who did Leonardo in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle He never heard that he was getting a star. Like a lot of people are the voice actor are working actors, and that's to me the fact that now studios are always using celebrity voice actor. It kind of just pisses me off. A lot of
At
voice
least in-
actors don't mind. I have to say, like Michael Bell said, if it's the right voice for the character, then I have no problem with it. But like, yeah, when they redid the Smurf movie, they recasted. I think it was I don't remember which Smurf he did, but he read for it, and they didn't want to pick him because now he was older. The voice didn't sound really good. That's what they told him. But then Joe Manganiello, whatever his name is, the big guy that everybody's falling in love with, he
no
did
idea.
that Smurf, and he didn't even change his voice. So that's bullshit reason that to kick Michael out just to have that big name attached to it, and the movie tanked.
Wow.
So
I guess it's one of those cases where sometimes the big names sell and sometimes they don't. But like, everyone was joking about like, go see the Michelle Yeoh Transformers movie. Like people like Michelle Yeoh. If they know she's probably in the Transformers movie, they'll probably be like, yeah, I'll probably go see that. Obviously, like names like Peter Dinklage, Pete Davidson, that's going to captivate some attention because people know who they are.
yeah,
Or at least people know who Peter Dinklage is. I don't know much about Pete Davidson. I was on the fence about him voicing Mirage because I'm like, okay, apparently he was part of SNL. I don't really watch a lot of live television like that, so I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. And I started.
I saw him because of my son. Like not saw him, but I know of him because of my son. He really likes his style of humor. I saw a couple of his, not act, but a couple of his sketch, or even more like when he went on roasts and stuff like that. And he's actually pretty funny. But to cast him as an actor, I was really dubious. I'm like, it's not the same thing,
Right.
But then again, you take what's his name, Bill Hader, who was on Saturday Night Live, and he's a terrific impressionist. He can sound like anybody you want. And then he did that show Barry for HBO, where he's a hitman who's trying to become an actor, and it's very dramatic, and he was really good in it. So some comedian can translate to good acting careers. It happened before. I just didn't feel it until I saw the result for Mirage. So
I definitely think they did the right choice with Liza Koshy, considering she actually is a little bit of a voice actor now. Like, I would have preferred if they got Sumali Matano or Gray Delisle, because Gray got to cameo in the Bumblebee movie. Sumali apparently, I think, was part of the test screening, because that's when they got like placeholder voices. Because originally, again, because of my buddy Cyborg, I think that according to him, they had Tom Kenny do Wheeljack.
Okay.
I don't remember who he got for Mirage and his test screening and so on and so forth, but they kept Peter Cullen, obviously. But I think they handled the balance between like hiring big name actors and voice actors. I just wish that when it comes to the voice actors, they had a little bit more time to show. Like Peter Cullen obviously killed it as Optimus Prime again.
This time he really it really was perfect.
Oh yeah.
David Sobolov too. I feel like he also kind of stole the show quite a bit.
Yeah, I wish Frank Welker would have been involved. Like I think he probably would have been able to do what Peter Dinklage did.
Maybe.
You're not wrong there.
It's Frank Welker. Can do anything.
Probably end up getting a Scourge. It sounds like Dr. Claw, which would also sound probably a bit too close to the live action Soundwave. So
I would have.
People would get confused.
I'm not dissing Frank. I'm weird, just saying. But I mean, come on, Dr. Claw in a Transformer movie, that'd be cool.
But it exists already at Soundwave.
Oh, it's the same voice. When I found that episode of G1 where they forgot to use the modulator on Frank.
Crap! I know what episode you're talking about too.
It's either Web World or the song one. The one where
there was one in season 1 though too, where it was Chip and he had like the antimatter software. I think it was Roll for it.
Oh really? I don't know.
Yeah,
the one I'm thinking of is season 3.
because there's one scene. Well, yeah, it does happen in season 3 as well. But there's one scene in that episode, Roll For It, where Soundwave has Ravage attack Chip because he remembered the antivirus formula, and as soon as Ravage busts through the window, and he puts Chip in Starscream's I guess fuselage. I don't know, jet parts, but like you hear him talk to Ravage for a brief second. He's like, "Excellent, Ravage."
Okay. Yeah. So, but
was...
when he actually pointed it out when I did my voice actor spotlight on him, I showed the 2 clips, one from G1, followed by his Soundwave voice from The Fallen, Revenge of the Fallen, and it's the same thing.
You got noticed by Frank Welker?
Huh?
I said you got noticed by Frank Welker?
No. I didn't notice. I pointed it out in my spotlight that I noticed that it was the same voice.
Oh, my bad.
No. For a second. Man, I wish I would have been noticed by Frank Welker. I would have interviewed him so fast. But I can't afford him, and I can't afford Peter either.
Dang.
Yeah. But I'm working.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, still regarding like voice actors, I think Peter Cullen, David Sobolov, and Ron Perlman really kind of stole the show. I mean, Peter Dinklage too, obviously, but like in terms of people who have done voice acting before, I think Peter Dinklage did voice acting every now and then, but like as like people who have been part of voice acting for a while, like obviously Peter Cullen does amazing as Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman, I love as Optimus Primal. I would have preferred Gary Chalk, but I really like Ron Perlman's kind of movie style Optimus Primal, because again, with the Machinima Prime Wars trilogy,
I preferred it in this one because in Power of the Prime, he was too flat.
Yeah, I still like that voice though. And
Yeah,
David,
it's from Perlman. He's been voicing every Fallout intro since the 90s. Every game of Fallout starts with Ron Perlman saying "War never changes." Every time.
I do not know.
Oh man, he does good long narration at the beginning of each game, except maybe New Vegas. I'm not sure, but all the Fallout, it's him, and he does a great job.
That's pretty cool. But David Sobolov too. That's really cool that they got him. It would have been neat if they found a way to give him a maximal that it would have. Dude, can you imagine a live action Depth Charge?
Oh yeah.
That would
have been nice. I mean, how do you fit a fish or a stingray in this continuity? But it would have been nice.
Yeah, but I'm glad they at least included him somewhat. Like he did a pretty great job as Battle Trap, and
yeah,
it would have been cool to get him as Rhinox.
I get why we didn't get Dinobot, because really they stuck with mammals.
Yeah,
animals that you could spot in nature today. Type deal.
I think they're definitely going to aim for more like character or more animals later on, because it's like the Maximals survived. They're not gone.
No,
they're still just chilling out in Peru. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the next movie features more predominance on the Predacons and maybe even more Terracons.
Yeah,
maybe
that's possible.
Because
hopefully, I hope they have an explanation how Unicron was in this universe, and maybe if they want to do a better connection to the Bayverse, I wouldn't mind that. But I think they need to keep aiming higher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I really liked David Sobolov as Ape Link. How crazy! We live in a day where we have such an obscure character from Beast Machines as in a live action film. Like, it's not a 1-to-1, but Ape Link in a live action movie.
Yeah, I heard the name before. I didn't recall where, but I thought it was cool to have two different robots with a similar alt mode.
Mm.
You don't see that very often, like Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, because of the whole twin things. But then you have the Datsons, you have a lot of repaints, and now you have so I'm sure Ape Link is going to be like, what size was the Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal? Voyager?
Leader.
Oh, really? Leader. Oh, okay. So
I
if they want to
mean-
do an ape link, he's going to have to be commander because he's bigger.
Well, no, they could still do a leader. They just have to make him slightly bigger because size class doesn't matter. Like that's all budget related. So if they
Yeah,
wanted to,
at
they
this
could
point
still-
it is.
But
So, all right. Well, I think I'm done. I'm tired, and I have a birthday party tomorrow for the whole day. So,
Have fun with it.
for a friend
yeah,
of
that
mine.
should be fun. I wish I was here earlier.
Hey, man, no, you both had technical issue, and you came true. So,
By the way, Optonation, thanks for suggesting to restart my laptop because I tested the audio and it worked again.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like
Freaking
I
HPs.
had to reset my laptop twice. That's actually why I left the second time. It was because my audio cut out again. It was so weird. But
What do you have? An HP?
I have a Acer Nitro 5.
Okay, I don't know much on Acer, but I know HP is problematic sometimes.
So.
yeah. I had problems too with my PC.
And I'm also an
at
IT
work with
technician.
the sound.
So
I guess it's time of the year where everybody's going to need a new sound card. So, all right. Well, hold on. I got to prepare my brand for my Where is it? Outro. All right. You can get the 10% discount code in this outro, by the way, anybody who's watching.
cool.
So thanks for stopping by, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. If you did, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Also, leave a comment. We love reading those. Keep coming back. I have more on the way. I'm sure these guys have more on the way. And remember, nothing in life gives you the right to be an asshole. Take care.
Bye-bye.